Hello again, guys. We are on Unit 7, Module 2, Lesson 6. We're into scientific notation, which is called exponents. You'll be practicing this on IXL as well. We're also multiplying with decimals. So we're going to do a couple of problems here. Let's see. I have 1/10 times 43. There's a couple of different ways. If we were at school, I would have you use your name tag, and we would do where we had the number and we would move over. For the decimals. Since I know you guys don't have your name tags and maybe not a place value chart, we're gonna I'll show you this in a ratio table and then in like fractional groups. So if you have a place value chart, that's amazing. If you remember how to do this from when we were in class, that's amazing too. Again, remember you can do these math problems a lot of different ways, as long as you're understanding the math behind it and can get the correct answer. Alright, so I'm going to show you a ratio table for this one. If we have a 1, it's 43. If I have 10, it's 430. If I have 100, it's 4,300. But we learned from our fraction when we did, if he runs, half a mile in 10 minutes, how many minutes does he run? A whole mile, it's 20, right? We also can go backwards. So we're going to go backwards. So if we have 1/10 of that, if you see my zeros increased because it's 10 times greater. If it's 10 times less, I can add a 0 here. I can do this. But it still means the number 43. Just means you have 0 hundreds. But you still have 4 10s and 3 1s, which is just 43. We don't write that. Okay, we just don't write that when we write numbers. But if I have 10 times smaller, instead of $43 or instead of $40, I would have $4. So I have only $4.30 or 4 3/10. How that would look if I was going to draw that with a fractional model, I would draw my 10 circles because it's 1/10, or yes, 1/10. And if I had $4.30 in each one, and then I added it up, that would be 43. If we were talking about money, it'd be $43. So you can do it either way, okay? I'm going to leave this up because the next equation is 20 hundredths or 2/10 times 43. So I could do the same thing with the ratio table. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 here. Well, I'm going to put 1 here. I'm going to leave space. So I'm going to go straight to 2. So I'm going to take my 1 from over here. I'm going to put a 2. So 43 plus 43 is 86. Let's do 20 just for practice. 860. And then I want 10 times less. Okay? I want 2 tenths or 20 hundredths. Sorry, that would be more correct. 2 tenths right there. That would be 20 hundredths. So I should call it correctly. And then if I have, it's basically 10 times less. 20 hundredths is 10 times less. I have 8 6/10 or $8.60 instead of $86. I can check that because I want to circle I want to think about two of those circles. This is 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, 1/10. That's 2 tenths. If I add 4 3/10 and 4 3/10, I get 8 6/10. So that's how I can check that. Okay. Let's see, I might have written it down wrong. Oh, there we go. The next one is, lost my eraser here. I'm going to leave this one up. We're going to work on the next one. It's 1/10 or 1/10 hundredths of 4 and 3/10. Okay, so let's see if we can do our pattern. I'm going to start with 1 was 43 if we use this one. 10 was 430. 10 times less was 4 3/10. So now we want to make this our 1. Okay? We want to make this our 1. I'm going to even erase that to make it better. So we need to think about 10 times less. Okay? So if we redid this, our 10 would be 43. So if I have $4.30 and I have 10 friends I want to split it up with, each one would have 43 cents or 43 hundredths. Okay, if I added all those up together, it would be $4.30 or 4 3/10. Okay, you can see how the decimal point is moving. Remember, the decimal point is hiding here. Okay, so we always have a decimal point in our numbers. We just don't need to write those. We understand that 43, written just like this, is the same as this. So this kind of just saves us time. Okay, the next problem is 0 30 hundredths times 4 3/10. Okay, so just like we did the 2, then you know what? I can multiply this times 3. So I'm going to just add. Sometimes adding is just as good as multiplying. So here I get 1 29 hundredths. And I'm just circling 3 of those. So if you understand your 10 times, it helps a lot. 10 times greater than, 10 times less than. Okay,